Hey guys, my name's Rebecca Austin, also known as Coach Green. Today I'm going to share with you a very important aspect of owning your own online business, and that is once you've written an ebook, how do you get it uploaded to Amazon? It's really pretty simple and straightforward, but it can be a little overwhelming at first, so I'm going to share with you step by step how you get that ebook uploaded so you can make some money. So let's go check it out. So the first thing you're going to do is type in your browser kdp.amazon.com. And the KDP is short for Kindle Direct Publishing, which makes it really handy because then you can self-publish onto Amazon completely free. So first thing first, go into kdp.amazon.com and you'll see something similar to this. I'm already logged in, so they already have my Amazon information in here. If you don't have an Amazon account, then you will also have a little orange box over here that says sign up, and you can click on that, create a username and password, and you'll be good to go. But generally most of us nowadays already have an Amazon account, so you would simply click on sign in and you're using your normal Amazon account. It doesn't have to be separate from the one that you use to actually purchase things on Amazon. So you click here on sign in and it's going to take you to the main publishing page, which is the bookshelf. Now if you've never done this before and you have not gone into Kindle Direct Publishing, it's probably going to give you a option, or basically it's going to have a warning sign that says your account information is incomplete, and is going to show in the top right corner. So you want to first hover on update now and then enter your personal information. It's going to start the page where you fill in your name and your address and your tax information. And of course they're going to need to know your bank account because they need to know where they're going to send all this money that you're going to make off the ebooks that you're uploading. So once you've completed that part under your account, you can actually go back into it here. Otherwise, then you'll go to here where it says bookshelf. And once you're in your bookshelf area, let's begin publishing your masterpiece. Are you excited? I know I am. Okay, so if you've never published anything here before, you're just going to have this part up top where it says create new title, and you'll simply click there where you're going to create a title. So at this point, you're already ahead of all those people who dream about writing a book but never actually do anything about it. So congratulations. I'll pat yourself on the back because you're already halfway there. Okay, so now you're in this page where we've got several steps to get it down completed. The first one is the book itself. So first thing we have to decide is whether or not you're going to enroll in the KDP Select program. There's some pros and cons to enrolling in the KDP Select. And some of the pros of clicking on this, first of all, Kindle Unlimited users, they can buy your book, and even though your book will be free to the Kindle Unlimited users, if they read more than 10% of your book, then Amazon's still going to pay you a little bit for them reading it. So that's always a plus. And then you can utilize some of Amazon's new Kindle Countdown deals and the free book promotion deals. And these are some pretty valuable promotions that you would have access to if you enroll in the KDP Select. Now, if you do, some of the cons of selecting this is that you won't be able to sell your book on any other online bookstores. So you're pretty much telling Amazon that they have exclusive rights to your book. So you're not going to be trying to sell it on iBooks or Blurb or one of these other websites that are going to sell your book. So you're just pretty much saying, okay, Amazon, you are my publisher. Personally, I like to check the box, but it's up to you. Next, we're going to scroll on down here, and this is where we get into the fun part. So now you're going to enter your book details. So the first thing, of course, is the title of your book. And if you do have a subtitle, I usually just enter it under book name, depending on how many characters it is. simply because it makes it a little easier when people are searching for it, but that's up to you. You can put your title and then your subtitle here, which is completely optional. Then if your book is a part of a series, you would want to check this box right here. If it's not, then you just leave this blank. And if it is a series, then you put which edition number. So if it's the first of 5, then you would put a 1 here, or a 2, or a 3, or whichever it is. Okay, now we're down to publisher. And this is where you want to put, if you're part of a publishing team, or if you have a company, you can always put that there in the publisher's box. If you're self-published and you own a company, you can always put your company name here, or you could put your personal name here, or you can just leave it blank. Now here's just a little tip to consider on the publisher. If you include your publishing name, then the date that you publish will be included in the book description. So if you want your book to be more timeless in your potential reader's eyes, then don't include a publisher's name. If you do want to have a date involved where it might help you with longevity, or that you've been around for a while as time goes on, then you can put a publisher in there. So that's just a little tip for you to consider on making that decision. It's completely optional and up to you. Okay, now let's move on to the description. Now this is probably going to be one of the more important parts of uploading your book to Amazon. And the reason for that is the description is how you're going to grab your potential reader's attention. So it's generally a good idea to put some main keywords in the beginning of your description on basically what it's about. Write a description that connects with people's emotions. You really want to always be considering whether or not you are solving a pain or helping them to get a pleasure, kind of thing. Kind of like what is discussed in boot camp when we're identifying what is the pain that your avatar is experiencing that you are solving. So you want to include that as much as possible in this description with as much emotional connection as possible, because that's simply going to help a little bit more in selling your book. So it's also a good place to answer any buying objections that the reader might have, or possibly maybe even include some book reviews if you've had some book reviews that you would like to include. Okay, so next we're going to go to the Add Contributors button. Now this one is where you're going to enter your name, and then you're going to go to this drop down and select Author, and then click Save, because that's going to put you in there as the author. Now if this is a collaborative effort, then you would want to include all authors, or if you want to include the editor, the illustrator, any of these other things that are available here, you can include those as well. So you can add another and then just keep adding until you have everybody completed. So you can have your illustrator, you can then add another, and you have your the photographer if need be. So anybody who deserves credit for the creation of your masterpiece, you want to make sure you include them here. And then you click Save to continue. Then if your book is written in any other language besides English, this is where you will change the language. And then if you have an ISBN number, you can enter it here. If you don't, that's completely optional, so don't worry about it if you don't have one. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is you're going to verify your publishing rights. This is where generally you're going to select this is not a public domain work, and I hold the necessary publishing rights. Now if this is a public domain work, then you would select this one, but generally since it's your ebook and you wrote it, you're going to select the second option. All right, this brings us to targeting your customers, a very important aspect. So we're going to add our categories, and this brings up this little box where it's going to help you to select. You can choose 2 categories that are going to pinpoint what your book is listed as. Now you can narrow it down to fiction or nonfiction, and then break it down into you can actually hit the little plus sign here, and that brings it down into greater detail, and you can select more specifically the categories, and then you will select 2 and then click Save. The next section is age range. Now this is generally going to be if your book is like specifically targeted for children, for example, you can put what age range that it is specifically for. If it doesn't really matter what age range, then you would just leave this blank. Now, if it is specifically for children, then you would probably want to enter in the grade range on what age level or reading level your book would represent. Now we're up to the keywords. Now this is also very important. You can get up to 7 keywords, and this is going to tell your readers, or at least help your readers find your book. So you want to select keywords that will help them find you. One of them that is always good to put in is your name as one of the keywords. That is generally kind of helpful. Not necessary, but it's up to you. And then you want to do a couple variations on your book, or some key words on what the content is about and what pain is solving. Then you're going to select whether or not your book is ready to release now, or if you are maybe not quite finished with it, but you want to go ahead and get it on Amazon and available for pre-order, then you can select that it's available for pre-order and then what your release date will be. Generally that is beneficial if you are working on your book, you know you've got a deadline, you're about to get it completed by, and you want to go ahead and start promoting your book online and through your social media contacts. You can go ahead and start pre-selling your book even before it's finished, which is kind of helpful. Otherwise, if it's done, you're just going to go ahead and click I'm ready to release my book now. You're going to upload your cover. You can either browse for the image that you either had created professionally, or if you made it yourself on Boxshot King or some other software, you'll pull up your image. They do have this cover creator. I'm personally not a big fan of that because you want your cover to be as beautiful and professional as possible, and so it's generally good to have your own image. Then you're going to upload the book itself. So you want to click on Do Not Enable Digital Rights Management and click Browse to upload your book itself. And then once you've done that, you'll click Save and Continue. Now, depending on how big your book is, it may take a little while, and your internet speed, it may take a little while for your book to upload, so just be patient. Once it is uploaded, it'll give you an option on whether you want to preview. I usually recommend that you go ahead and click on that preview so that you can see what it's going to look like to your customers when they purchase your book, and make sure that it uploaded correctly, that the spacing is the way you want it to look, and that it's as professional as possible. Then we're going to click Save and Continue, and then we'll move on to the next part. So the next thing that you're going to do is rights and pricing. This is where we get to do the fun part, which is talk about the money. So the first thing that we need to do is decide whether or not you are going to have it worldwide rights or individual territories. Not really sure why you would ever want to have it uploaded specifically or available specifically to certain countries, but you know, sometimes it may be that you only want it available in the United States or in the United Kingdom or whatever. So this is where you can limit the publishing territories. Otherwise, just keep it worldwide rights. That way it'll be available pretty much anywhere. Then we're going to go to KDP pricing. If you click on the orange View Services button, then Amazon is going to give you a suggested price based on the success of competitors' books. Sometimes this is helpful depending on your book, and if it's your first time publishing, that kind of gives you an idea of what some of your competitors are charging for the same type of book. Otherwise, you just move on down here and you select either 35% or 70%. You'll select the 35% if your book will be priced either below $2.99 or above $9.99. And you're going to select 70% if your book is priced somewhere between $2.99 and $9.99. Okay, so unless you check specific countries, you're going to enter your price, and then everything else will fill in on how much it's going to be charged in the various markets. And then it'll also show you what your estimated royalty and how much money you're going to make. Okay, so the next thing, number 10, is enroll this book in the Kindle Matchbook program. What this is basically means that when someone buys your physical book on Amazon, they'll be presented with a discounted price for your Kindle version. So this only comes into play if you actually have a physical book that's available on Amazon. So depending on whether or not you have that available, you can select this so that they can get the Kindle version at a discounted price. And then 11, you're just going to choose whether or not you want to allow lending for this book. And that is where if someone purchases the book, then they can lend it to their friends or family for 14 days. Okay, then you want to click on the I confirm that I have all the rights necessary. Click Save and Publish. And congratulations, you have just published your ebook to Amazon. Now your book is available for purchase, but it usually takes around 24 to 72 hours for Amazon to actually get it available. And you'll be able to see here on your bookshelf page, it will tell right here the status and whether or not it's live. Usually if it's not quite live yet, it'll say pending or processing. And that way then you'll know that it's in the process, but we're just waiting for it to completely be available on the Amazon website. And then once it's live, it is now available for purchase. And then you can go into promote and advertise and send it off to all your friends and promote it on your website or anywhere else that you want to encourage purchase of your book. Simple as that. That is all there is to it. Just by following those simple steps, you now have your ebook available for purchase and you can start making money. So congratulations, and you are on your way.